All right. I got a feeling this last one is going to be a deep dive just because I know who it is. And the last two videos that we've watched, bro, they have been significant. And I think they're significant in their own right, but they've been extra significant to me because they've had this religious flavor that I have a lot of experience in. So I'm going to pull this up. This is a longer video. This is 11 minutes long. And for those of you that know, it's Woodkid. This is called The Golden Age, featuring Max Richter. Embers? I don't know if it's The Golden Age. I don't know if it's Embers. I have no idea. But the last couple of videos that we've watched from Woodkid have been like cinematic friggin' masterpieces. Okay? So, thinking hats on. We're going to dust off our shoulders. You think it's a combo thing? We're going to find out. I could go for some combos right now. The pizza flavored ones. I'd be just, whoo. Yeah, all day. Yep. Run, boy, run. That's the one. Okay. Here we go. This is called The Golden Age.
Walking through the fields of gold.
No subs.
In the distance, bombs can fall. Boy, we're running free, facing light in the floor. And in the cherry trees, we're hiding from the world. The golden age is over. But the golden age is over. Boy, we're dancing through the snow. Waters freeze, the wind blows. Did you ever feel falling as we grow? No, I would not believe the lights could ever go. But the golden age is over. But the golden age is over. cry as I'm walking through the door. Did you ever dream it's the noise in the sun, the playgrounds in the streets, the bliss of slumberland? If we are family, no matter what they say, the boys are meant to flee, run away one day when the golden age is over. When the golden age is over, but the golden age is over. The golden age is over.
Wow. You have never been so quiet. Ever. Ever. I thought all of you were asleep. I'm going to pull up the lyrics. I'm going to pull up the lyrics. We're going to discuss this pretty hard. I want to go back to this first shot. All right, I'm going to read the lyrics. Once again, the golden age. Walking through the fields of gold, in the distance, bombs can fall. Boy, we're running free, facing light in the flow and in the cherry trees. We're hiding from the world. But the golden age is over. Boy, we're dancing through the snow, waters freeze, the wind blows. Did you ever feel we're falling as we grow? No, I would not believe the light could ever go, but the golden age is over. Listen, I can hear the call as I'm walking through the door. Did you ever dream we'd miss the mornings in the sun? The playgrounds in the streets, the bliss of slumberland? Boy, we are family, no matter what they say. But boys are meant to flee and run away one day, when the golden age is over. Oh, the golden age is over. The golden age is over. Wow. So, I'm going to give you my 2 cents on this. I am going to preface this with some of what I'm going to say, as usual, some of you will probably disagree with, and that's fine. That's kind of one of the best things about this. This is just how I interpret it. First of all, this is a friggin' masterpiece. Once again, I think we're either 3 for 3 or 4 for 4. Woodkid, grand slam. Cinematic masterpiece. My first thought with this shot right here was the child that lives inside all of us. That's what I thought. And I think it can still symbolize that, but I don't think that's the point. This whole thing feels like it's demonstrating the difference between the relationship of a father and his son and a mother and the son. There's usually a very distinct difference between those two relationships. This here, as the video played on, I became to interpret this more as this is the father protecting the son, holding the son, and that the father is a point of protection and strength for the son. Now, there's a couple ways that this is kind of referenced. When the boy is with his mom and they're reading the book about space, at one point he points to the sun. Nice little detail, but he's with his mom. So there's things that he does with his mom, and there's a very specific relationship that's shown there, and then there's the relationship with the dad. You notice in the very last sequence, when we get this very ominous feel, like to me, I almost paused it right here and said, death is coming. That's how this felt. It was that ominous. It was that scary and powerful. I thought like something bad is coming, which is perfect because that's what he is thinking. But what does he do in the moment of that fear? One of the last shots that we see is when he reaches for his dad's hand. Because to him, dad is protector. Nothing is ever going to hurt that child because dad's there. Now, the reality is, unfortunately, some parents have to play both roles. Some moms have to also be the dad. Some dads have to also be the mom. What I think is super brilliant about this, and there's so much, but take that structure that I've just laid out between the two relationships and also notice that we have a significant string of violin through the video. We also have these very prominent sections of cello. So there is the violin, which is a little more gentle, but still prominent. We have the cello, which is strong. It takes up that bass. You feel the power in it. I do feel like there's a lot of this that's kind of a commentary on masculinity and what that means, what it means to be a boy, what it means to be a man, to be built up as a man. Scenes like this say a lot. They say a lot about how we raise our children and what we expect of them, what society expects of them. And also, let me take this moment to say that the relationship between the father and the son, you notice there was never a point like when the father and the I guess when the husband and the wife got into an argument and the boy was putting his hands over his ears, I was dreading that moment where in that argument, because obviously this is how the boy feels. He's afraid, he's scared, and his two most loved people are fighting, and he's fearful that they're going to make the dad hit the mom. And it ruins the entire thing. It changes the entire narrative to what's actually being laid out. And to me, it's what dad's responsibility is for the boy. Now, we also get glimpses of that with the mom, but I don't think it's as prominent. It might be, and I'm just being biased because I'm a guy, but I think that the relationship with the mom, you can see it's demonstrated to be more subtle, more soft. She's doing her hair with him, and he's watching, and he's trying to learn. She's reading the book with him. But when it comes to getting dirty, and it comes to like being strong when you don't want to be, and then being raised up in a way that's difficult, because we've got that soldier scene. All that is very much a part of how society views masculinity. And masculinity is not a bad word. It's not a bad thing. And the proof of that is because there's a term called toxic masculinity. Totally different thing. But me acting like what I think a guy should act like, I'm doing the best I can with what I've got, right? If you ask me to protect you, I'm going to do the best I can with what I've got. And Thelma, that's exactly where I was going next. When we see the boy interacting with grandpa, or whoever that is, we see the scars on him, and we can tell he's telling the stories. This is what life as a man looks like. Now, I know this will upset a whole bunch of people, but this is the world that we have lived in for thousands of years. Has it been exclusive to this gender and this gender that people are out working the fields and working on the farms? No, of course not. Nothing is ever going to be 100% exclusive. But like I know in my upbringing, and probably some of y'all's upbringings, dad served a role and mom served a role. Sometimes they flip-flopped. It's whatever the moment requires, that's what they do. And I feel like the beauty of this video is also that mistakes are made. Like there's the moment, like I can't even say mistake, but I know, not from experience, but from the people that I talk to that are parents will inevitably beat themselves up when they think about how they've raised their kids. They will have something in their brain that will make them feel like I could have done better. I should have done better. The kid doesn't feel that way necessarily, but they beat themselves up because they know it's kind of high stakes. Watching the argument happen between the mom and the dad, and the dad turns and he's angry and he says like, go to your room or whatever, get out of here. And the kid just hides away from it or wants to. That's not a mistake, it's a fight. But as a parent, I have to assume you're going to wonder like, should I have said that? Should I have done that? And will you beat yourself up over that for some period of time? Not always, but maybe. And yeah, I think the death of boyhood is also a really, really well put, concise way to put this. I mean, there's a darkness to it, but there's also this feel of love and care. So the dad isn't made out to be this monster that's just teaching his boy to go out and do war. The dad cares. You know he cares. If the dad didn't care, if the boy didn't feel that way, he would not reach for his dad's hand in that last moment before the storm comes. You know there's a relationship. The way that he looks up at his dad, you see the whole family life, the structure, the violins, the cellos, the scars of the old man. Yeah, this is beautiful. And yeah, I mean, the fact that it's called the Golden Age, this is the end of the Golden Age or whatever, it's that point where you go from boyhood, childhood. It's not just about being a boy, but childhood. And then you're kind of shoved into the world. And the world is tough. Life is hard. And like I said before, sometimes we're just doing the best we can with what we've got. Regardless of how many people think otherwise, I think the truth is that the world is going to do what the world is going to do. And most of the time, it doesn't care what you think or how you feel about it. So you better damn well learn how to navigate that world around you. Sometimes you have to be tougher than the world. Doesn't always have to be that way, but sometimes it is required of you. Because as much as we try and as much as we want, the world doesn't always bend to the way that we feel about it. And Tasia, I have to say, I wanted to comment on that too, and I almost forgot. The boy trying to use the curtain to cover his face was so poetic because he wants to just hide from what's there, but no matter what, he's gonna see it. Yep. There's no getting away from it.